worldwide dance music. And Frank came to the club, and he says, "You're my new lead vocalist." And I said, "How could I possibly sing for you if I've never heard your music?" I said, "But just for the hell of it, who's in your band?" And he says, "Well, George Duke and Jean-Luc Ponty." Whoa, George Duke. Jean-Luc Ponty, the French violinist, and George Duke, the jazz piano player, they're in your band? And he says, "Yeah." I said, "Well, you must be pretty good. Your music must be pretty damn good because they're the best." And I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, here's my card. When do you come back from Europe? November, give me a call." He says, "Well, you come for an audition?" I says, "Yeah, sure, I'll come for an audition." He says, "Okay, here's the deal. You come for an audition, you don't have to sing. You listen to the band. If you like it, you're automatically in the band. You don't even have to sing a note." I said, "Okay, well, that makes it much easier because I don't know your music, and it would be rather difficult." And that's how it happened. I went to Los Angeles when he returned. I listened to the band, and I saw my destiny. I came there to meet George Duke. That's what I wanted to do. I said, here's an opportunity I've never had in my life to meet the guy that my idol. And I just wanted to meet him. But when I heard the music, I mean, can you say orgasm on the microphone? It was like an orgasm, the best I ever had in my life.
We didn't necessarily have to rehearse the notes so much because he used to write everything down and we used to read it. But as time went on, as you got in the band and you understood what Frank expected of you, it was not necessary for him to write everything down.
Frank was so constantly creative that things would evolve during the rehearsals. And by the first day of rehearsal, you wouldn't even know the music was the same music by the last day of rehearsal. It would constantly evolve, and there would be interaction between guys like Duke and Napoleon Murphy Brock and all the cats, you know.
You know, some people have a hard time memorizing all that music. It's not that easy. So, you know, there's a little cheating going on from time to time, but basically, we did have it.
Let's just get a groove going. Ain't it funky now?
Duke were sitting there watching each other's feet to keep the time because there was no other way of telling it. It was just like a visual foot swapping. And we were just sitting there pounding our feet.
know, if you want to stay in the band, you got to keep it up. Put it in print many times, you know. If the guys can't play my music, they're out. So we, you know, a lot of guys get fired. I got fired a couple of times, you know, it's just standard procedure. When we used to practice for the rehearsals, Tom and I used to live together, and we had a lot of tremendous competition because George Duke and Jean-Luc Ponty were in the band, and they were playing the easy instruments. But we had the same parts on the hard instruments, so we had to work a lot harder than those guys. And we wanted to make sure that whenever they came into this rehearsal and they said, well, Frank, I just didn't have time this week. No, I shouldn't say that, should I? I just didn't have time to practice, you know, so. Meanwhile, we've got it. Now, the way we did that was we made a goal. We said, okay, we have to get all the way through the piece perfectly, or we have to start back at the beginning again. So by the time we played this for about, you know, a few hours, we had it, basically.
Yeah, but we had the beginning a lot better than the end.
Sorry, Tom. He was improvising in his mind when he wrote the music for these really complex modern classical pieces. The bebop tango, which used to be called the Malcolm McNabb.
What was the tango? What was the thing that was going on behind that?
Bum, bum, yeah, bum, bum, brum.
That's it.
You know, I think he would meet people like I was telling you about Malcolm McNabb. He got really inspired by him, and he said, this guy, I remember him coming and saying this to me at some rehearsal or something. You know, this guy Malcolm McNabb came over and he played this new piece, and it was the best thing that anybody ever played any of my music. You know, so, you know, this gave him the hope that his stuff could be played.
Yeah, it was sometime after the Grand Wazoo tour when Frank called me up and asked me to come up here. It might have been in this very room. And he says, play this. I want you to play this. And he showed me this page here with all these notes on it. And I was thinking, you gotta be kidding. I mean, this, I don't know if I can play that. He says, well, let's hear it. So this is what I've been working on for the last 30 years. This set of notes. And I pretty much know a lot of it without looking at the music. Damn, he found some good ones there, you know. I've been working on it for all this 30 years, but it doesn't seem to be getting that much better. last 3 bars. Pray, hope for the best.